Business Fitness Podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the ABF All Business Fitness Podcast. Whoa, I'm your host, Romer Mendez, with
Joe Rich. What's up?
We have a very, very, very exciting interview today. We have three people to interview. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the current DFAC Bikini World Champion, Mrs. Lucienne Olsen.
That has a ring to it. Thank you.
Wow. How does it feel to be called the world champion?
I'm still trying to figure out that exactly.
Oh.
It's like the first day when I got the title. Like, I still haven't really exactly recognized it yet.
And who was that with you there?
This is my daughter, Natalia.
Hi,
and my
Natalia.
daughter, Gabriella.
Hi, Gabrielle. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Say
You can
hi.
say hello. They can hear you.
Wave. Hi.
You can wave.
There you go.
She thinks what's going on right now is pretty cool.
Oh, cool.
No, it is. It absolutely is.
You're right.
You know, as their
You're
mom
right.
again, you are the world champion right now, so it is a pretty big deal.
Yes, exactly. Thank
And
you.
also, thank you for taking your time. I know you mentioned your daughter was sick, correct?
Yes, thank you.
Yes, of course. I'm so happy you guys asked me to be a part of it.
No, so is she doing okay?
She is. Just a little fever, traveling bug.
Yeah. And again, that was our whole goal of this. We wanted to make it as real as possible. You know, the All Business Fitness Podcast is we want to get, again, we're in your house right now where, you know, you're hanging out with your daughters, and that's how real it gets. It doesn't get any more real than that.
No.
You know, there's no scripted interviews, there's no anything. We're just live and just real.
Exactly.
So, Lucienne, if you had to tell us, if you had to take us back to the first time you ever picked up a weight,
No.
tell us about that. When was that, and how was your experience?
Well, I guess the first time, I guess when you ask pick up a weight, I think of just kind of like being active and being like having that discipline like that's required to be in the gym. So when I was really young, I started in the martial arts when I was 5. And that was kind of where my physical activity kind of started. I dabbled in like a lot of different sports. I did track, basketball, softball, all of that kind of stuff growing up. And I guess when I really started getting into like the gym and into weights wasn't until I actually had my oldest daughter. So I kind of tried a little bit of everything and like kind of tried to figure out what I like and what works for me. And I've really found a love in the gym now.
You said martial arts. What do you have a favorite karate movie?
No, not a favorite movie, but I mean I can get down with any of them.
You ever see Bloodsport? Bloodsport with Van Damme? No.
I haven't.
Oh, you got to see that.
Oh,
This might be bad, but when you just said that, the first thing that came to mind was Mortal Kombat. So
That first Mortal Kombat was a good movie.
Does that count? Okay.
That definitely
yeah,
counts.
absolutely.
That definitely counts.
Okay.
It's definitely when we talk about martial arts classic. It's definitely
Exactly.
So you talked about martial arts. What type of martial arts did you do?
I was in Taekwondo, so I did that up until a second-degree black belt, and then I did a little bit of dabbled lightly in jiu-jitsu, and then life kind of in my teenage years, I started finding other outlets. So I kind of moved away from martial arts for a while.
So you were second-degree black belt?
Yes.
Wow.
So you're saying you're a bad mamma jamma?
Hey, I would like to think so. I
All
don't
right.
toot my own horn, though.
Okay.
Yeah, I was actually when I did Taekwondo way back in the day. I was a poon belt, so I was right before black belt. So I never got my
Nice.
black belt, but someday.
Someday. Put it on the bucket list, Roma.
Yeah.
Never say never.
Exactly.
So you mentioned when. So what impact do you think that being involved in martial arts had in your whole athletic career and your whole fitness career?
I definitely say the discipline. Just the discipline of giving it your all and like the focus. I mean, I feel like I channel a lot of those things now into my yoga practice. So even though like the two disciplines are completely different, I mean, it carries through in all of life, and like definitely what I like to teach my kids. Being motivated and kind of finding ways to motivate yourself or like that internal connection. Instead of always looking elsewhere.
Okay, Lucienne, let me touch on something about like the fitness industry, and I know you've been lifting weights for a little bit. Anything bother you about it, like the direction it's going, or aggravate you?
So the only thing that I can say that aggravates me, and I've had this conversation a couple times,
Okay.
I, I I feel like a lot of people in the fitness industry, we all have the common goal to help people. And especially with like inspiring others, and like you see with people's posts and the things that people are doing, like you're really, especially now, like you're able to reach so many people, which is a gift. But it's when it comes to like those fitness professionals getting together, I feel like sometimes that same like inspiration is diminished because that little bit of competition is there, which healthy competition is good.
Okay.
But that's the one thing I guess that bothers me slightly, and I've only seen it a couple times. But yeah, I would like to see it more within like the actual fitness professionals. Like, yes, we're reaching out and trying to help other people, but we could also come together. And there's no reason to be kind of in that competitive edge all the time.
Gotcha.
Unity, I believe in that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that there is something to say about the numbers, the power in numbers.
I agree, but you know what? When you're competing at such a high level like you do, I could see where possibly backstage there's a little bit of stink eye, or like people that just want, they're so hungry and the passion is there that they want that title. They want to take
Definitely.
it. Exactly.
And it's like you can't take that away from someone because that's
No.
why we're all doing it, right?
Exactly.
So like it's that camaraderie, but like in that same hand, through competing, and I've only been in 2 shows now, but I've been able to meet and been introduced to like some of the most amazing people, and like great energy, and I mean they're people in like communities that I never would have been able to be a part of, outside of this. So that's why I'm really thankful that I made the decision to kind of go down this road.
That's what it's all about, meeting new people, and you seem like you got a good head on your shoulders, and you're in the right.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're where you got to be. You're in the right thing. Go ahead, Roman.
You talked about you competed only in 2 shows. First of all, how old are you?
I'm 24.
24. Okay. And
Yep.
when was your first show?
So my first show was 2015. It was the Minnesota Mayhem DFAC show
Leave
in
Anderson.
Duluth. Yeah,
What's
and
up,
it
Lee?
was like the most amazing experience ever.
Yeah, no, Leave is someone that we're really close with, and last fall for the Minnesota Mayhem and our show, the DFAC Buffalo Natural Fall Fest, it was both our first shows. And
Oh, really?
I honestly talked to Leave probably every single day throughout the whole entire process because we were trying to, and that's what I love about obviously my friendship with Leave. It's that whatever we do, it's all for the benefit of competitors, and that's what we brought here. So everything that we do, it's always putting the competitor first and forgetting about profit. And again, I mean, if you can maybe tell us, go back to that show and tell us what did you like about that show.
Oh gosh.
The Minnesota Mayhem.
Well, like what you said. So for me, I was extremely anxious going into that show because not only was it was my first show, but I had never even attended another one. So I really had no idea what to expect. But I realized really, really quickly that the caliber and the amount of care, like for the athletes, was, like it was amazing. Like we were the priority, like making us feel comfortable. I thought it was like I felt honored to be a part of it, really, especially being the first show and seeing like how much work everybody put into it. I still think about that day, and it's probably like one of the craziest days of my life. But I like from now on, I would definitely go to every show, and like the amount of love that they show their competitors is like so real. So I can't imagine going to anything less than that, really.
Wow. And how many years have you been training overall, and what made you decide to actually do a show?
Well, I guess I've been training. My daughter's 2 now. And I can remember after I had her, like, in the hospital trying to get right back into, like, doing body weight squats. And, like, the doctors are kind of looking at me like I needed to sit down and chill out. So I guess it's been literally since I had her that I've been, like, intensely training. My prep for the Mayhem show was about 10 weeks. But I was already kind of, quote-unquote, in shape prior to that. So it's hard for me to take a day off. That's where I struggle in finding my balance. But yeah, so I'm still going full throttle and looking forward to this season for sure.
Oh, so you are competing this year?
Oh yes,
There you go.
definitely.
Okay, there it is. There it is, folks.
So, I mean, going back to after your victory, after you won the Minnesota Mayhem and you got your pro card, and then you qualified for the DFAC World. What made you want to do the DFAC Worlds?
Oh my gosh. Well, I first when I went out on stage for the Mayhem, at that point I was just so thankful and so satisfied with all of the work that I had put forth to get there. So I really wasn't thinking about winning my class or winning a pro or any. I wasn't thinking about Miami at all. So after all of that happened, I was literally in shock, and I felt like because I had that honor and because I was asked to go, there was no other choice but to go. So that was when kind of the plan started, and it was, I believe I have 5 weeks from Minnesota Mayhem to Miami. And the Minnesota Mayhem show was a pretty big, the bikini class was pretty stacked. So I knew that going to Miami was going to be a bigger challenge and another hurdle, but I definitely didn't see it as being too far off. So I got in contact with my coach right away, and we started putting it into motion. And before you knew it, I was already in Miami.
Wow. And how did it feel to actually walk away with the title?
Oh gosh, in Miami, so surreal, and I was just so honored. And again, it wasn't nowhere near as big as the Minnesota Mayhem class, but there was 5 of us in the pro bikini division, and it was just an honor to be up there, and it felt so humbling. To be there, and on top of that, still be able to connect with so many people that I met at the Minnesota Mayhem from all over the country, and all warm spirits. It was a great experience.
Wow! So you decided to compete in your first show. You ended up winning the whole entire show and getting your pro card. You
Yes.
decided to do the Worlds, and then you ended up winning the Worlds. What's next for you?
Yes.
What's next?
So my first show this season will be Ricky Howell's show. It's the DFAC show in Georgia in June. Yeah, so he has a pro bikini division for that show, so I'll be there. And then I'm hoping to go to the Natural Universe in Austin. And then after that would be the DFAC Worlds again in Miami. And hoping that all goes well at the Universe, then my end goal is to make it to the Olympia stage.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man. She look at her sleeping. She's so cute. She's so cute, man. Oh my god.
It's really cute right now. Really quiet.
This is good. Now, what do you want to tell? Now that you said you're competing in Miami, what do you want to tell the bikini competitors that are coming after your title?
Ooh,
Why don't you
be ready. I
wow.
love seeing all of you train, and I it fuels me, and I can't wait to. I have a feeling that the pro bikini division this year will be quite spectacular. Not that it wasn't this last year, but I think it'll be definitely good competition this year.
I think you're right. Now, Lucienne, having 2 kids, if you can, why don't you let some of the people that wanted to compete but never have, it can be done.
100%.
100%. I'm sure there's obstacles that you had to overcome, but I mean, you did it. So,
Yep.
so like you said, anything is really possible if you put your mind to it.
Exactly. Yeah, and a lot of things, when I talk to people that have kids and talk about considering competing, I say if it was ever even an idea in your head to go and do it. Because for me, I think that getting on stage brings back a new sense of confidence for everyone, just differently. So mine was getting on stage, and it liberated me to really this whole process and being content with myself and not having to care about what other people thought about me or if I'm to this or to that. And I mean, it's being a mom, and especially for young moms, you can get criticized a lot. And, social media, we constantly have all these different outlets telling us what we should or shouldn't be. So I think that for anybody, if you've thought about it, and I mean, maybe you don't live and breathe going to the gym every single day, and that's fine. But I think that we can all learn something from the whole experience, and definitely learn something about yourself.
Yeah, Lucienne, besides working out and fitness, do you have any other hobbies? And taking care of 2 kids, that's a hobby in itself. But do you have any other hobbies that you do?
Well, aside from those, I love to travel. We try to get around whenever we can. I'm in school right now, so it's been a little bit more difficult. And then since I finished in Miami, I really wanted to get my personal training business going. So now I've been focusing on that as well, which kind of keeps me based, which might be a good thing for a little while.
It should be.
Tell us about that. You mentioned you're going to school and you're also training. The first question
Yeah.
would be, what are you going to school for? Where are you going to school?
Well, I'm going to St. Kate's, St. Catherine University in St. Paul. They have an exercise science and nutrition program.
Wow.
So I'm in my junior year for that. And I mean, there's a lot of exercise science programs out there. St. Kate's is an all-women's school, so I really like that. But they also have a 5-year holistic health program. So this is just a little bit of history, but my mom was an acupuncturist, and my grandfather was a scientist,
Wow.
specifically like sperm and biology.
Did you say sperm?
I did. He had a sperm bank. I know. Everybody, it's like a connection that everybody should have, right? So it's super normal.
There we go.
But yeah, so like there's my cross between like science and like the spiritual side.
Okay.
So yeah, that's why I kind of got into this program. Once I finish with my bachelor's, I think I'm going to take a little break. But then that 5th year of the holistic health side, along with my yoga background, I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to produce with that, but I'm super excited to keep moving forward.
And you mentioned also you are a coach and a trainer.
Yes, I do personal training too.
Tell us about that. Where do you do training? Is it all in person? Is it all online?
Well, so I have some clients that are online and then some clients in person. I'm fortunate enough that I can train right out of my campus gym. So, I mean, I work with, right now I have a variety of people. I have my first prep client, actually, who's going to be competing in the DFAC USAs in June, which I'm super excited for her for. And then I have other clients who just, just want to be toned up and, like, lose some weight. So, I mean, I don't necessarily want to ever, like, pressure somebody. And I think people looking at me can say, like, oh, I want to train with you, but I don't want to be super jacked, or I don't want to compete. And, like, that's fine, you know. I just want to help everybody be happy and, like, feel good and be healthy in whatever way that is for them.
For those people that want to get in contact with you, possible prospects or clients, how do they reach you? Where do they reach you?
Well, my website will be up shortly, so that'll be an easier way. But right now, I have my competitor page on Facebook, and then through email and Instagram as well.
What's your IG name?
My IG name is it's Minnesota's _ Fave FAV Yogini.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a mouthful.
And what's your email address?
My email is Lucienne at Revive Your Light.
Oh.
And that's the name of my training. It's Revival Training. It's my personal training business.
Is that going to be the name of the website too? Do you have that picked
It
up?
will be. It's Revive Your Light.
I like that.
.com.
That's nice. That's got a nice ring to it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So I'm going to ask you a question.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to ask you a question that I ask my buddy Leave all the time. What is there to do in St. Paul?
There's so much to do in St. Paul. Arguably, it depends on the season that you're here. I'll say that. I like it a lot more when it's hot. But I like to say that we're a pretty active city, like the Twin Cities. There's a lot to do outside. It's a great place for families. So, like, whenever, like, trying to find something to do with my kids on the weekend or in the afternoon, I love that. Downtown is nice. Mall of America seems to be a hot spot for everybody, but could argue that.
Who's your favorite Mortal Kombat character?
Mortal Kombat. Ooh, Katana.
Man, Katana.
All the way.
She's another bad mamma jamma. No wonder why you like her.
Yeah, those fans. It's something about those fans.
Now, Lucy, is there anyone that you look up to in the fitness industry, especially, let's say it could have been anyone when you back when you started training, or even now, is there anyone you keep an eye on?
Who do you creep on? Who do you get creepy with?
Ooh. Well, I'd say, like, as far as like competing, I'd definitely say I love Michelle Lewin. I love the persona. I love what she gives to everyone. and she's also used to compete. So that's kind of that was how I got my little inlet, was by looking at her. But as far as like it being inspired within the fitness industry, like honestly, and this sounds so cliche, but like going to the gym and like seeing other competitors or even my clients, like they inspire the hell out of me. And it's like a great thing because it's this energy that is just like constantly contagious. Like I find it in everybody. And it's great seeing other people just trying to like live up to their fullest selves and like push themselves to their potential. And it's cool because watching them do that, I follow right behind.
That's nice. So when you're about, let's say when you're about 2 weeks out and you're looking at food porn 24/7, what are you craving? What are you craving the most?
Cookies.
Man, that was fast. Cookies.
Always.
Yo, I'm gonna call you the Cookie Monster.
Hey, I've adapted that nickname.
Oh. What type of cookies?
Oh God, chocolate chip.
Oh.
But I don't discriminate. Chocolate chip cookies are great.
Yes. Let me ask you a question, Lucienne. Do you think in 10 years you'll be doing this still?
100%.
100%.
And what do
I Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I've been using this like little hashtag on my Instagram posts, like this is only the beginning. And like the more I put that and like the more I like that phrase is just kind of like resonating in my head. The more and more I realize that like I'm not gonna limit myself. And like I could never put a restraint on anything. So as far as my fitness journey goes, I definitely truly believe that I'm just getting started. And I've learned through this last year of competing, and before I started competing, I thought I was fit and I considered myself, to be at a certain level. And I realized that really I hadn't even seen the tip of the iceberg yet. And that this really is a lifestyle. And it doesn't matter how hard I work or how disciplined I am in the kitchen. It does, but once you implement that over, a number of years, like there's no telling what I'm going to look like or what I can do. So I'm just so excited to find out what's going to happen, I guess.
Yeah. Do your kids motivate? I could see having kids would motivate me if I had them. I don't think I have them.
Definitely.
Okay.
You might have a few out there.
Yeah, maybe that we don't know about. No, edit that.
No, never know.
Yeah. They probably motivate you a lot. I would imagine.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't think without them, I know I wouldn't have I wouldn't be able to do as much as I do. They push me in every way. They are little fitness kids too. It's kind of funny, but no, I definitely, they keep me intact. And as much as I'm trying to do and kind of like that whole full speed ahead thing, without them, I don't think I would be able to have that drive.
I could see that totally. Lucienne, let's say 20 years from now, even 30 years from now, let's say you've retired, okay?
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to leave on this earth? What kind of a legacy? What do you want to leave behind? When they say your name, what do you want to be known for?
Oh, that's a good question.
Thank you.
I'm gonna try not to get super deep. Let's see. So
No. Get deep. Get deep.
Go there. Okay.
Yeah, go there.
The one thing, like my biggest thing as of lately is really, I feel like I want to be a light in everybody's life that I come into. And I feel like everybody that we meet at an exact point in time is for a very precise reason. So through that, I guess I've just been looking at all of my relationships and all of these opportunities that I've been presented with, and why. And I feel like if I can be a light in everybody's life, or if I can, help somebody smile, or if I can help somebody see the positive in any given situation, for that matter, then I'm doing my job. Yeah. And by doing that, that's what kind of feeds me too. So, if I look at it in a selfish way, it's kind of like that whole, even if you're having a bad day, smile at someone. Even if you're not smiling at them because you necessarily like them, you're smiling at them because you know that energy is going to come back around. So, I don't know. I'm on this vibe, and I love seeing other people be affected by it, and like they can then share that back with me, and I don't know, that's kind of just where it all started for me.
Wow.
That was deep. That was deep. But I like. I could tell you one thing. I like your energy. It's very positive. I could feel. I could feel it coming right through Skype. I could feel it.
Thank you. Yeah. I get big into like the whole energy and vibes thing, and I tell people like I will talk myself into next year about this kind of stuff, and like get like I will go there if you don't stop me. So
that was good.
Yeah, especially if you say you're 24, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, for somebody 24 years old, you sound very, very articulate, very, very mature at your age. You know.
Oh, thank you.
What would you think? What do you think are the factors of your life that have led you to become this mature and become this I'll say in tune with yourself and everything around you?
It definitely life's experience. I have not always been like this. I guess I've always been me in that sense, but I had my oldest when I was 16, so like I didn't really know it was. I mean, I was a baby. So I didn't have the typical, like I didn't go to prom. I didn't go to my high school graduation. Like I was paying bills. We had a house. So kind of like trying to find myself through those years that are typical for a lot of people, and like going into college a typical way. I've definitely had my setbacks, and I've had to learn my own way of like what's really going to work for me and who I am. Having my daughter saved my life 100%. So I think that was where everything kind of started, getting kind of pushing me into this right direction. When I was 16, I could have never told you that I was going to end up doing something in fitness. Like I probably would have told you I was going to be like a vet or something. But I mean, this is just kind of, it's like everything has just pushed me towards this is exactly where I need to be.
Hey, Lucienne, describe yourself with 3 words, Lucienne.
If I can describe myself in 3 words?
Give me 3 words. Give the people 3 words.
Determined. For some reason, out there keeps coming into my head. Okay. Unpredictable, I'll say that. A lot of people try to guess like what kind of a person I am, and I always have people tell me that they were so surprised because I'm not who they thought I was. And then let's see, the third thing, just love. I just like to be happy.
Oh, I like that. Well, speaking of love, okay, let's go the opposite direction. What pisses you off in the what pisses you off in the gym?
Ooh, in the gym.
Yeah, let's say, it could be anything. What aggravates you? What grinds your gears about either gym etiquette or just people in general? It could be clients, too. Future clients that, like, because we're not all on the same level, like, what right. Is it? For me, it's when someone says, I can't. That really you can't or you won't. Or you're just lazy. You know?
Right, exactly.
So what grinds your gear?
I guess I actually love it when people tell me they can't, because then I'm the first person, like even my friends will tell me like, I'm the first person there to ask you why. Like, and if you give me that reason why, well then I need you to explain why that reason is there. Like okay. why we can't get past that. I guess for gym etiquette, my biggest thing would be people that sit on their phones on the machines. And it's just, it drives me crazy. And it's happened only a couple times, but like the selfie thing in the gym too. Snapchat in the gym drives me absolutely crazy.
Bonkers. There you have it. There you have it.
In the locker room, maybe. I can't. I mean, if you look at my Instagram, like the LA Fitness mirrors, like we have a good relationship, but not out on the floor while I'm lifting.
There you go. When you see Lucienne around, don't be taking Snapchat selfies or get off the damn machine, or put your weights back for me. Put your weights back.
Right. Exactly. Or like if I'm in the middle of a set, like I fought for this heart rate here. Like I can't have a conversation with you right now. Like, please wait until after I'm done.
So, Lucienne, if you had to tell us maybe what was a few things that you had to go through while prepping for your show that you're not going through now. So basically, tell us maybe some of the difficulties that you had during your prep.
Oh goodness. Well, like I said, I was kind of new to this, so in my prep, I wasn't ready for the emotional drain that it puts on you. So with juggling school and kind of that tired, just kind of crabby I definitely turned to yoga a lot. I wasn't ready in my prep when it came down to like those final weeks and like that really where it was like make or break you, and it's really all in your own. I mean, it's all on you. So like it's hard because like you want to turn out and outward and say, oh, this person or this, and find that factor to blame. But it was really like it was all a mental thing, and it was all. I mean, I was doing it for a goal. So, I mean, I learned a lot about myself through that. I thought I was going crazy in a couple instances. I learned.
What can you tell us? Give us one situation.
Particularly going for my polygraph for the Mayhem show. I was so nervous. I asked the guy if I could fail of anxiety, and he assured me that wouldn't happen. But yeah, my friends and the people around me were everything. I wouldn't have been able to do it without them. They were 100% my support system when I thought like the world was literally like crashing down or something.
Lucienne, is there anyone you want to thank in your life that you've either crossed paths with, or anyone you want to thank?
Oh man, I have so many people.
Pick three. Pick three people you want to thank. Yeah.
Specifically in my competition, my coach is Monte Bailey. So he did all my prep work. I also worked with Sandra Avelli. She was my posing instructor. They helped me with so much. And like I said, I was like a complete newbie. I had no idea how to pick out a suit. Just like really like beginner things that they really took the time to like really helped me feel comfortable. Talk to me all night on the phone before the show when I was losing my mind. And then, I mean, I have a very good friend, Bree, who came with me for both of my shows and was kind of like just there as that shoulder to lean on and like backstage with me, just like as my lifeline. And I'm blessed, so blessed to have all of these people that were just constantly here for me and like ready to help me and like really believed in me. So, I could go on, and there's so many people that have helped me get to here. Everybody really in my life.
That's great. After the Worlds, when you became world champion, did you get, and I've heard this from a lot of people, they almost get a little depressed.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that possibly happened to you a little bit.
Yeah, I think I might know what you're talking about. Just kind of the whole, like, I was so wrapped up in everything that had happened. And, like, at the Mayhem show, with winning the Mayhem show, I also won the cover of Natural Bikini magazine. So it was kind of like all of these things that were going on, and I was done with the stage, and I didn't necessarily have to keep eating my chicken and vegetables every single day. So it was just kind of like the mental process of like, how do I go back into like real life now, or like do I go back into real life now, or what is real life after like having an experience like that, and like it changes you. So it was kind of like, how was I going to integrate out of this competition mode 24/7 and back into how I was going to be able to really live that and make that work for me. So that it was a short period of kind of, I didn't know what was going on. But now that I've really been able to soak it all in, I could see where someone would kind of be up in the air after going through like such a big process.
Yeah, it's like that whole having a kid thing. Postpartum depression?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it happens in.
I know about that too.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Now let's get on. Let's touch base with some of your training. How do you train, Lucienne? Is there like, do you hit legs? Are you on a certain program? Do you hit legs so many times throughout the week? I mean, if you don't want to give your secrets out, you don't have to. But
oh well, so I definitely hit legs at least 2 days a week. Sometimes 3. I do upper body, same, about 2 to 3 times. My cardio would be my yoga practice. So I practice hot yoga. And the classes are about 60 minutes a session. The rooms get anywhere from 95 to 105 degrees.
Ooh.
So yeah, so really after I do one of those classes, like I've kind of met my cardio needs for that day.
I see how you, sure as shit. I tried that hot yoga about 2 years ago, and I had about 1,000 calories right before I entered. She's like, honey, you're not supposed to eat for like 2 hours beforehand. I'm like, well, I didn't know, and I ran out of there. I ran out of there. I almost puked all over the place. I mean, that hot yoga is like, it's legit. It's for real.
It can be intense.
It got really intense. So I can see where that's your cardio.
Yeah, definitely. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, yoga, that's stretching." Like, well, no, not really.
No,
like,
that's hard.
Yeah, and well, kind of like there's a million kinds of protein powder. Like, there's a million kinds of yoga. So, like, yeah, I could go and do yoga where I'm, just sitting. Or there's extremely active yoga. So, like, the kind of yoga I do, when I practice 2 days a week, and when I do that, like, that is my training for that day, just because it is pretty intense, and it does take a lot out of me. I don't hate cardio, but if it's yoga, I'll do it every day.
You'll do it every day.
Yeah.
So, Lucienne, I know after seeing you on stage in Miami, you are a great poser. Do you think that the yoga had anything to do with that, or did the yoga help you in any way?
Definitely. From practicing yoga so long, I definitely have an awareness of just kind of with my body. It's funny because I didn't actually start posing. I didn't start my posing practice for the Mayhem show until a week and a half before. So I was really nervous. So, like, my posing was, like, the one thing that I, like, felt like that was what was going to break me. And so, like, when it did come out the way it did, I was so thankful. And I definitely credit that to yoga, because when I look at the videos, like, I don't know where my head was, but, like, I looked like I was just, like, kind of, like, prancing around the stage. And I don't know where I went for those couple of moments, but it worked.
Now, as far as food goes, do you follow like, if macros, do you count, or do you eat a certain way, or do you have a cheat meal once a week, or do you refeed clean?
I do. I have a cheat meal once a week, and then
cookies?
I don't. I wish.
Okay.
If only I could have cookies every day. I did find these whole grain cranberry chocolate chip cookies at Whole Foods. And I tried to act that they could fit in my diet every day, but I don't think they do.
Okay.
But no, so yeah, I do count my macros. I don't think it's quite as intensely as other people. But right now I'm just actually getting back into my prep mode. So I'm telling myself that I'm ready for it, but I don't know how necessarily ready I am just yet.
Yeah.
Lucienne, are you married or?
I'm not. I'm engaged.
You're engaged.
Thank you. I've been engaged for a while. It's just that with so many other things going on, we're gonna see what happens and wait for the right time.
Oh,
that's awesome.
Wow.
Congrats.
Yeah.
So
thank you.
If we had to maybe ask a question, and maybe you can let us know how difficult is it dating, or just in your personal life, while being in prep?
It's very hard. It's very intense, and I think it's like that at-home life too that really is like everything for competitors, and that's another thing that might not be mentioned as much. If somebody has another gym rat or another competitor, quote unquote, as their partner, it might be easier to understand. But for a lot of people that going home and you go back into a regular life, not everybody wants to live eating 6 meals a day, and kind of the way competitors do. So it's been hard at times, but it's definitely a learning experience. Yeah, I guess that's the most simplest way to put it.
That's great, Lucienne. For another plug for yourself, if someone wants to reach out and work with you, where can you be reached at?
Well, my competitor page on Facebook is definitely my means of communicating with people right now. So that's Lucienne Olsen, Pro Bikini Competitor.
And your IG one more time.
It's Minnesota's and then _Fave Yogini. FAVYOGINI.
And the website's coming out soon, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Website's coming out soon.
Yes, and that'll be reviveyourlight.com.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Any final words you want to say to your fans out there? Fans and maybe in competition?
Yeah, well, everybody in competition, keep going. I'm super excited to see everybody on stage. I'm going to try to get to visit as many shows as possible this year. And everybody just keep pushing. This year I'm like super excited. It's going to be new lengths this year.
That's
and
awesome.
To all of my quote-unquote fans or the people that follow me and like listen to what I have to say, everybody that reaches out to me and tells me that I inspire them, like really and truly from the bottom of my heart, I am inspired by everyone else, and it is that fuel that keeps me going. So it's just as much everyone else. It's just as much input as it is output. So
You got a bright future. Stay good. I could tell your guts are good. Your guts are good, and I hope your daughter feels better.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so
problem.
much for asking me to be a part of this show.
Anytime.
So again, thank you very much for your time, especially with having a sick baby.
Oh, of course.
Here or there, she's
Eating blueberries.
Well, there you go. Again, thank you very much, Lucienne.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye now.
Bye.
Well, there you go, guys. That was Lucienne Olsen, the current DFAC Bikini World Champion, and there's another episode of the ABF All Business Fitness Podcast with your hosts Roman Mendez and Joe Rich. Please subscribe, hit the like button, leave your comments. More exciting interviews coming up. Thank you, guys.